Hey everybody, welcome back to the Teenage Mind podcast. I'm trying to think of something original to say in today's intro because every week I'm like, I hope you're doing well, thank you for tuning in, which, yes, thank you for tuning in, and also I do hope you're well, but I feel like that gets a little bit tiring. Like, you know, I've said it about 5 weeks in a row now, and I'm getting a little bit tired of it. I'm sure you're getting a bit tired of it as well, but unfortunately I can't really think of anything else to say. So, if you have any suggestions, leave a comment if you're watching this virtually. Today we are talking about something... I've lost my words today, everybody. I don't even know how to structure sentences anymore at this point, but it's fine. Today we are talking about disappointment. Yeah, I wanted to talk about it. I had a whole different episode planned for today, and then this morning I got a very disappointing email from somebody, and then I was like, you know what? I can't click with my other hand because injuries. We are going to be talking about the subject, okay? Well, I'm going to be talking about it, and you're going to be listening to it, or turn it off halfway through. I don't know. It depends how committed you are, really. I need to leave my skin alone. I keep picking at it, and it keeps hurting. If it isn't the consequences of my actions coming back to bite me in the face. So here is why disappointment is necessary. And I know you're about to turn it off and be like, I do not want to hear this, but take a deep breath and hear it anyways. So here is why disappointment is necessary. Disappointment means that you're connecting with your inner self in a way, and you're checking in with yourself, and you know where you're at. At least you can feel disappointed. I'm able to realize that, you know, this was something I really wanted, my expectations for this were X, Y, and Z, and it didn't happen, and now I feel crappy. We often don't really check in with ourselves, and often only when we feel disappointed or upset or angry, that's when we really check in with ourselves. And even then, we often don't do it. So disappointment is a really good time to take a little morning tea break and be like, how am I feeling? Why am I feeling this way? It's a good time to, like I said before, check in with yourself. The next reason why feeling disappointment is actually a pro. Okay, look, I get it. It sounds like I'm trying to sell you something right now, but we're gonna try to look at the positives first, and then we're gonna talk about other stuff, how disappointment sucks. But you know, first we're starting it off positive, okay? Listen, when you feel disappointment, you need to congratulate yourself, because if you are feeling disappointed, that means you did something, you took a risk. If you don't feel disappointed, then you didn't actually put yourself out there. It's a sign of putting yourself out there and taking a risk, and that is really important. Whether you went and auditioned for something and you really had your hopes very high for that, and unfortunately you didn't get it, you still went and auditioned for that. You put yourself out there, and you put yourself in maybe a vulnerable position. And yeah, maybe it didn't end up the way you wanted it to end up, but you still put yourself out there, and that is a pro. You jumped off a stepping stone, you did something. And actually, if this doesn't work, it's actually not meant to be, and something better is coming. The next one is all about perception. There was something this morning that I really wanted to be part of, and I kind of put myself in a bit of a vulnerable position and put myself out there, and unfortunately, it didn't work out. And it was disappointing for me, and I was upset, and I was like, you know what? This is the last disappointment I'm gonna take. And then I was like, you know what? Stop being stupid. Sometimes I just need to tell myself to stop being stupid, and then I feel a lot better. I think something that really helps is putting yourself in the mindset that if something is meant to be for you, then it'll come, and if something better is on the way, then it will unfortunately not work out. And often, at the time, it seems like that is the one option for you, that is the best thing. How could something better ever come? If I look back at all the things that disappointed me in the past, I'm so glad that all those things didn't work out, because soon after that, a lot of better things actually happened. So changing your mindset is really important with disappointment, but putting yourself in the mindset that, okay, this didn't work out. If I really still want it, what can I do to make it work out? Or maybe necessarily this isn't actually meant to be for me and something better is coming. Change your mindset. A lot of people say you shouldn't have expectations, and honestly I think this is quite unrealistic, because even if you tell yourself you don't have any expectations for something, often you do have expectations for something. And I know don't have expectations and you won't get disappointed, but this is all part of being human. You are gonna have expectations, and it's really hard to just be like, no, I don't have expectations for this. It isn't necessarily about getting rid of them, but it's more about learning how to manage them. I think a lot of the time expectations are actually really important as well, because whether it's with somebody else, it's actually really important to have expectations of how you want other people to treat you, otherwise you're just gonna get mistreated. or have expectations about how maybe something is going to go, because maybe then it gives you more of a clear direction of where you want it to go. But next we are going to be talking about an expectation hangover. I think communication is really key, and I think something everybody needs to start doing more is actually communicate your needs. I knew what I wanted, but I didn't actually know how to communicate that, and I don't really think that the other person was that open to hearing what I had to say. So every single time I would hang out with that person, I would just come home and I would be so disappointed every single time. My friends have been through this as well, and they've told me about this as well. I think that's one of the worst types of disappointment, is being disappointed from other people. So I think something that really helps with this, as uncomfortable as it may seem, is having hard conversations with people and setting boundaries and talking about how you want to be treated and what you expect from the relationship. And by relationship, I don't mean all that significant other stuff, but also that, but friendships, work relationships, all that stuff. I look back now and I really wish that there had been a lot of conversations I had had with people, because I think it could have stopped a lot of miscommunications and hurt feelings, that most people are actually very open to it and are willing to change. And if they're not willing to change, then that's on them, and actually you don't need them. And they're not the type of person you want to have in your life anyway. It's important to ask yourself, where does the disappointment actually stem from? Are you romanticizing the situation? Is it because you're making the situation out to be so perfect and making it out to be, if you ever missed out on it, it would be the end of the world. There will never be another opportunity like this. I do this a lot, and I think one of the reasons I was very disappointed this morning is because I romanticized it so much, and I was like, this is my life now, but it's not, and that's okay. And there will be lots of other opportunities that are gonna pop up that are actually meant to be better for you. Also ask yourself, why did you not get the thing that you were hoping for? Don't lie to yourself. A lot of people do this. A lot of people lie to themselves. And by a lot of people, I mean me. Actually, I don't really do that anymore, but I used to. Just be honest with yourself. Another question to ask yourself, is this worth pursuing? Is there a chance that I could try to pursue this again, or is it just a dead end? Also be honest with yourself here, because if it's actually a dead end, but you're like, oh no, I could try it again, then that's not great. But if this could actually improve your life, but you just can't be bothered to try again, then be honest with yourself then as well, and be like, hey, this could actually really benefit my life and it wouldn't hurt to try it again. The main question is this going to benefit my future self? Is this something that is going to help me out, or is this something that is not going to help me out, or I'm not ready for yet? Pretty much, honestly, anything can be solved by asking yourself those questions. Also, talking to other people can really help, just to get a different perspective on it. But at the end of the day, what is not meant to be is not meant to be, and this unfortunately is quite hard to accept sometimes. But I think that if it's not meant to be, then it just means that better things are meant to be and better things are coming your way. I'm still working on it, and I think most people are still working on it as well. So, be kind to yourself, be easy on yourself, and you're gonna figure this out. Anyways, guys, that is all for today's podcast. Guys, if you want to follow all the social medias, I will link them down below. That would really help me out. Also, if you can, make sure to leave a little review for this podcast on Apple Podcasts. It won't take very long, and it would really help me out. Thank you for those of you guys who watched the virtual version. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you are watching it virtually, and also subscribe to this channel. Okay guys, that is all. Thank you guys again so much for watching or listening, and have an amazing week, and I will see you guys next week. Bye! I don't know what that was. That was a little wave with my hand. Peace!